Hi, everybody. Welcome to our April edition of Kickstart Your Learning. We are so excited that you're here with us, and we cannot wait to spread the Canva love. So do not say you can't until you have Canva'd. Please stay to the end, and we'll let you know how you get EQ if you're here for that. My name is Misty Shea. I'm a facilitator of educational technology, and I'm here with my coworkers. Christy Harold, who is also a facilitator of educational technology, and Erin Reister, who is the director of educational technology. That's a mouthful, people.
Thanks, Misty. My mute button disappeared temporarily. I was struggling to unmute myself. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're here today. If you haven't already, if you'll start introducing yourself in the chat to us and tell us where you teach. I'm going to spend just a few minutes doing some housekeeping. If your YouTube screen looks like the one that we're showing on the presentation, where you see the video on the left and the chat window either on the right or maybe just below the video, you are good to go and you're ready for this Kickstart Your Learning Live. If you don't see a chat window at all, you probably have a box that says create a channel in order to chat, and we need you to do that today. So we're going to give you 3 simple steps to make that happen, and that way we can verify your participation in the event. So to get your chat window to pop up, you're going to start at your avatar, or sometimes I call it your profile circle on the top right. Sometimes the avatars in YouTube and Keller ISD are blank, but if you move your mouse up there and kind of hover where you see a circle, you'll get a pointer to click. Once you click, if you'll choose create a channel in the menu, and on the next screen, there's going to be a rectangle, or the left side option says use your name, and that's the option we'd like you to pick. And you're going to click select. And then at the bottom, you'll click save and continue. So I'll walk you through this verbally one more time. It's your avatar, create a channel. You're going to pick the column that says use your name. You're going to click select, and then finally save and continue. You may need to refresh this tab or actually return to www.kellerisd.net/kickstart. And while you're taking a few minutes to do that, I'm going to verbally go over the YouTube Live participation guidelines that we have in place for you. If you're here for EQ credit, we are so glad you're here, and we're thankful to give you this opportunity. We're thankful that you chose us. We'd like you to watch the entire live event. If you'll introduce yourself in the chat window now and tell us where you teach, we would love that. During the training, if you'll submit at least one comment or question, we use that to go back and verify your participation. And then we'll give you a link at the end of the training that you'll fill out a Google form real quick for us to get your EQ credit. And we'd prefer you do that in about 24 hours. It helps us get the credit quicker. And we're in the middle of EQ season, so we want to get that granted to you as soon as possible. Just in case you didn't know, all of our past Kickstart Your Learning events are housed at the same web address that you came to today. It's the same link. So www.kellerisd.net/kickstart. You'll see all of our past videos. And in case you still are needing some EQ, we've taken older videos from about 2 years ago, and we've put them in a Canva class and paired them with a Canva quiz. And if you'd like information on taking those for a few extra EQ hours to finish out your EQ season, we are happy to give you the link to that. Just give us an email, edtech@kellerisd.net. Okay, we're going to start with our topic today. And it's like Misty said, don't say you can't until you Canva. Canva is a tool we discovered about 2, maybe 3 years ago. And in that timeline, it became free for all educators and all students. And I mean, completely free pro version. And it is so amazing. I would call it a digital media tool where you can create all kinds of things. We're going to show you a lot of those things today and showcase a lot of things that you can do. And it's super, the other thing about it is it's super easy to use. It's easy for you, it's easy for students. And so I think you're really going to love what we show you today. All right, Misty's going to let me talk on this slide. Misty, you jump in whenever you want to because she built this slide and these are all her products. But it's one tool with endless possibilities. You can create video with Canva, and I'm going to play Misty's cute little video right here. You can create awards or certificates. You're also in that time of year where you're needing certificates for different things. You can create those in Canva without having to purchase them. Your students can create infographics. You or your students can create graphics. We create most of everything we put on social media in Canva. You have the ability to create posters digitally, comic strips to show content learning, infographics to show that students know concepts, and there's even a digital whiteboard in Canva. So it's got just an amazing array of things that you can do inside it. All right, as we go into the product, we want you to know that this training is only 30 minutes. We don't really have a lot of time for us to teach you something and then you to do it. But if you want to follow along that way, you absolutely can. Split your screen, open up 2 different tabs, leave the YouTube window on one side, open up Canva on the other side and follow along. We did want to warn you that we don't want you to get frustrated with that. We'll do a great showcase today, and then you'll have this video at this web link always so that you can go back and watch and play at the same time. Oops, I'm playing the video again. All right, how do you get to Canva? Great question. One of the neat things Canva did, not to be confused with Canvas, by the way. One of the really neat things Canva did is when they decided to give all educators and students free pro licenses, they also created a single sign-on option. So Canva is located within K-Cloud for all of you as teachers and for all of your students. So if you open up K-Cloud like you normally would, you search Canva, you're going to see it's a turquoise type button, and you click that and you should single sign on right into the program. Okay, so we looked at Misty's examples. I'm going to go back one slide, and look at those. Of these that you've seen right here, is there anything that makes you think about a class product? Product? Either one. Is there something that you think of in your content that you have your students make that maybe they could do in Canva? And I want you to just tell me in the chat if there's something you see right here that sparks your interest, your creativity. Maybe we could do that in my class type of project or product. And then I am going to switch tabs and start our little kind of training or overview on Canva. When you start in Canva, this is what your homepage will look like. You'll have a home, and then typically all of your recent designs will live down here at the bottom. So all of these are things that I've either started or created lately. Up at the top, I've got a search bar right here, smack dab in the middle, where I can search for something to start a project. I've also got a create a design button up here, or a custom size button right here, where I can also kind of search and make different things. Canva's built from the first step. The first step of building in Canva is creating the size of your product. And so Canva has so much you wouldn't even believe. For example, if I just start typing, I'm going to use a social media platform just to show you all the choices. If I'm looking for something the correct size for Facebook, I have so many options. Plus, there's over 182,000 templates that go with that one social media platform I searched. Today, though, we're going to start and look at some of the educational pieces of Canva. So on this homepage, I'm going to come over here to templates, and I'm going to move over to education, and I'm just going to click on the first product filter for education. So I'm going to click on classroom kits. And what I see when I click here, these are exactly what they say. They're classroom decorative kits that I can pull up. I can edit any of these templates to make them fit my classroom or what I want to build for free. I can change any of the graphics on them. I can change the colors on them. You'll see that there are some that are almost plain or blank-like where I can build, but so much. That's just the classroom kits. So if I come back over here to my category filters and I click on education in this sidebar, you'll see I could filter by presentations, video, infographics, posters, whiteboards, on and on and on and on. There's so much. Newsletters. I'm going to click on classroom newsletter because I really think that's a neat place where you could find a really fun template that students maybe could work on a classroom newsletter together to produce the classroom newsletter themselves versus you as the teacher producing it. Today, though, we're going to spend some time, click on education again on the left, and I'm going to click on storyboard. We're going to do a little how-to with one of the storyboards. As I look at the storyboard templates, I can see right away that my first choice will always be starting with something blank. So if I just want to give my students something blank to start with, I want them to use all their creative juices and build from blank, then I can. I've also got some templates in here that are fairly blank with just simple backgrounds that I could work with as a teacher. There's a 6 square storyboard. There's a 3 vertical rectangle storyboard. So lots of options to begin from blank. But there's also all these fun options to begin where I see some type of content. So I'm going to click on one of these. I'm going to pick this yellow, orange, and blue illustrated storyboard. This is a somebody wanted but so then format storyboard. So this is great because maybe I already do this with my ELA students and I've taught them this strategy. We've done it on paper, but now I'm ready for them to produce a fun product with this. And so I've got this one that almost is teacher directions, really. Like it kind of tells me what each of these should be and what they're looking for here information-wise. But if I go down below this, I've also got a blank one. And I have a page in this template that just has all of the graphics that I saw in the very first slide. So maybe I don't want my students going crazy on Canva and I want to limit them to just these graphics as they build. I can do that as a teacher, so that is really neat. So to get started, when you pick a template that you're ready to work with, you just say customize this template. And this is actually going to put you into almost the working area of Canva or the working board. One of the first things I really try to remember to do when I'm in Canva is come up and rename my storyboard or my product, whatever I'm doing. And today we're going to do a little red writing with a storyboard. If you use an LMS to do assignments through Canva, then each of your students would get a copy and they can turn in that way. But there are so many options, and Missy's going to talk about later how students could share these with you. So we're not going to go deep into that today, but I want you to know there are ways that you can see students' assignments and have them turned into you. So the storyboard I picked, again, I've got all 3 of these. And as a teacher, I can say, no, I don't want to limit them to just those graphics. And they already know what this is. So I'm going to actually delete that page too. I just want my students to start with a blank template to work on. Now, notice that when I popped into this Canva working window, up here on the left, I have different tabs of tools. And the first tool is always templates. And so if I click on templates, it's a little tab. It's probably hard to see as I am sharing the screen with you. It turns a slightly darker gray than black, but not much. I see, once again, all of those templates that I saw earlier on the templates page. So they're all built in right here as well. So if I'm letting my students have more free reign, they could always choose a different template here. But I, as the teacher, am going to set the guidelines on that. So I've chosen my template. I don't want my students choosing any other template. I want them to have a title. And I'm going to let them begin. So the next tool in Canva underneath templates is Elements. And Elements encompasses all graphics, all stickers, all animations, all shapes. Misty, help me out. Anything else that encompasses basically any type of piece that you would want to add to a product. So I have this handy dandy search bar if I'm looking for something specific, but I also have categories across the top. So if I'm looking for just a border, maybe I'm just wanting to add something specific to a graphic I already have, or a line or an arrow or a frame, I have those categories right there. Today, I'm going to search for, obviously, Red Riding Hood. And you can see that I searched that earlier, getting ready for today. And I like this one, so I'm going to click it. And usually my graphic or stickers or animations will pop right into the middle of my product board. I'm just going to move her and resize her with the handles. And she was walking to see grandmother through the forest, I think. So we're going to get a few trees. Those pop in as well. I just resize them and move them. Drag them a little bigger than Red Riding Hood, but you get the point. I can add as a student or a teacher until my content is exactly the way I want it. Now, my next tab over here is called Uploads. So Canva allows you to upload things that you might need to add to your products. So I was making a map the other day to help new hire employees. And so I uploaded a map to the place that I wanted them to go. And you can see things I've uploaded in the past that just allow me to personalize my product. I'm going to move down to the next tab, which is text. Now on this template that I picked to use, there was already placeholder text in here. So all I would truly have to do is click in it, it highlights, and I can begin typing. Now, I can do a couple of things after I'm done typing. I can highlight that text, and up at the top, I have different content-rich editing tools that I can use. I can align my text. I can change the color of my text. I can change the size of my text. I can change the font, and you will not want for fonts in this program, I promise. The other neat thing about text is if I want to build in some text that's fun that a graphic designer created, not me, Christy, the not graphic designer, then I can click on any of these already created combinations and use them in my products. This probably wouldn't be something a student would use for a project like the one I'm showcasing, but I just wanted you to know that they were there. And then all of the text is editable as well. So I'll delete that. If you have students and you want them to add text that's not pre-populated or doesn't come in a template, then they can drag one of these three: heading text, subheading text, and body text into their product and place it wherever they want and type their text that they need. All right. One last element that we're going to talk about as we begin just this quick showcase. You'll see things like audio and videos in my tools, and those are because I've used those tools before. But when a student first comes into Canva, they really only have 4 or 5 basic tools here to the left, which is good. We all know simple is better for students. But one that they will probably have is background. And background does exactly what it says. It puts a background on your product. So I searched forest earlier, and this one was really cool. Now a background will go throughout the entire background of my project. So it's not something I could try to drag it into one of these squares and make it really small by using those handles. But if you're choosing strictly a background, it will cover the entire background of your project. I noticed that my words right now those words are too dark with this background. So I'm going to click on my color button, change those to white. Much better. Simple things I can control in Canva as I begin to build. All right. That was a lot for a little showcase. As we worked, I want to know if there was something that you sparked an idea in your mind that you might use this with students. So is there a project you have that you know you do every year, and you might think about doing something digitally like this with Canva? So put that in the chat, and Missy's going to take over for a few minutes and talk about something else with Canva that she loves.
I'm muted. I'm muted. I was muted. I was really excited too. Awesome. Thank you, Christy. I love storyboards because honestly, any directions that you ever want the kids to reiterate, it can just be done in any content area. I've been a librarian at middle school and high school, and I've worked with certain content areas. And now in ed tech, I work with all content areas. And we've used a lot of these Canva things across content areas and across grade levels. So it's just amazing. I love it. All right. So I'm going to start out at I apologize. I usually have this ready. Okay. So first thing I want to highlight. So all of our kids have done presentations. We usually have them do presentations in Google Slides, and they do a phenomenal job. But now it's time to level up because Canva has so much more potential than Google Slides. Love me some Google Slides. I will not stop. I love them. I use them every day. But when I want to add a little more pizzazz or maybe some cool stuff, I really love engaging them with the presentation tools in Canva. One of the really cool things that I love, which I have a video here of, is now you can do a voiceover and talk through a presentation. Can you imagine having the kids make a presentation and then them getting to explain their presentation through a video instead of maybe putting them up in front of a class? I had a lot of students who were not comfortable getting up in front of the class and speaking, but this is a way they can still explain what they created and their little pictures at the bottom of the video, like you see here, and they can explain whatever they created in the presentation. So I really love it. That's called the talking presentation. I also love, there is a brainstorm presentation. And one of my favorites is they have created for you a lot of templates where it's a presentation. It's like a slide deck, but it's a game. So like would you rather or questions. And then when they click on it, it already hyperlinks to another slide. So it's really cool. So all those things. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons I love Canva is because it creates it for you. I am not digitally gifted. Like if I see it, I can copy it. So when my children need something, I go to Pinterest and I'm like, who made Uppy Umbrella? I need to make that costume. So I love Canva because they've made so many templates and all I have to do is make it mine. I go and find something and then I just change a couple of the graphics and make it my own. So I love a lot of these presentation tools because they do the same. They've created so much for me and I just have to go edit it a little. My time is precious and I do not have time to reinvent the wheel. So thank you, Canva. Now, one of my favorite tools that I really, really, really want to highlight today, because I don't know if any of you were an avid Adobe Spark user. I was, and now all of a sudden it's not around. So I needed a substitute. So thank you, Canva, for saving the day. So Canva now has a video similar to how you would have built an Adobe Spark video. Essentially, how it is it's like building a slide deck, but it puts it into a video, and I love it. So I'm going to show you, these are just kind of some quick instructions for the slide deck for later, but I'm actually going to go to Canva and show you. So when you're on the Canva page, I usually just search video and it's one of the top ones. And I go to video. And like Christy said, sometimes there are times where I want to create it. I usually create it from a blank one. Adjusting their videos sometimes is more work than if I had just started with a blank one. So I really love this because, like I said, it just looks like a Google slide. It just looks like a presentation and it's really easy. And like I said, they already have templates over here, but I'm going to skip that and I'm going to come over here to Elements. I really love, you can tell what I've been searching lately. How embarrassing is this? I really love that they have everything in one place. So when I put that video together, I was teaching children about unicorns. And so I kind of really quickly put that video together. But let's say we're going to do travel. So I already have an image here about travel. And then if I type travel in up here, it gave me, that was a graphic. So I can go to, there are graphics that are moving graphics, kind of like a GIF. I don't know if I'm going to find any today. Those are some of my favorite graphics. Then they have photos that I can just drag over and I can resize and make my background. I can do it however I want to do it. I love that they have videos. So if I want this video, I can bring it over and it'll be part of my video. And if you see down here at the bottom, it told me this clip is 16 seconds long. I don't want it that. So I'm going to grab it and just pull it over. I found the sweet spot for each one, especially if there's not a lot of words, is anywhere from 3 to 4 seconds. Anything longer than that, my attention span can't handle it. So I have one slide, I have this on there, and then I just add a plus sign to add my next part. And so then I can just keep scrolling over and adding things. So I could add more graphics. I can add text. And I can just keep on adding and adjusting the time and adding it little by little. And so adding all of this, I've created a video. And let me move my lovely Zoom controls. And so down here, I see that it's 10 seconds out of 10 seconds. And I can come over here and choose audio. And I can pull audio over. Oh, hold on. I found a hack. I have to start with the first one. Pull audio over. And then I just stretch it for my whole video, quite possibly. And now I have audio on my video. And then I just hit play. And and it created an entire video that easily. I just did this with some high school students and the teacher was like, Misty, this is the first time all the kids have turned in an assignment before the end of class. Normally it's like begging them days, and they were just so engaged. And this was so easy for them to do that they were able to create a video so quickly. I've seen it done with 6-second summaries in ELA. I've seen it done to explain, a third grader did it to talk about their animal that they had chosen for their project, and they made a quick video. Like, I've seen it all over the spectrum in different things. I've even used this to create commercials for our channels because I needed some advertising. So if you're a special pop, like if you're in band and you want to promote your jazz band coming up, and you can create something really quickly or have the kids do it. Children can do a lot of amazing things. Our Genius team create a lot of our graphics, and so they can do it, and it's empowering and it's amazing. It's definitely one of my favorite things about Canva since they added it. It's seriously, like, I love it. It's one of the tools I tell the teachers I'm collaborating with quickly. All right. So once they make all this, how do they even share it back to you? So I love Canva because there are millions, well, maybe not millions, I love to exaggerate, but there are so many options to share. So at the top of Canva, at the very top right, there's a share button. And when you click on that, if they're in Keller ISD, I can type their name right here and I can add them in. I just have to tell them whether they can view it or edit it. I can download it as a PNG, a JPEG, a PDF. I can download it as a video or even a GIF. Oh, I love me some GIFs. Then you can download it. You can save it to Google Drive, Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive. If you notice, like, seriously, anything it can connect to. I've even had a teacher where she had them upload it and turn it straight into Google Classroom, which is an option. I can send it straight to my social media, which I'm not going to lie, even my personal social media, I do not post anything until it goes through Canva first. So it can up your social media game right now. You can embed it. Like, I'm not even kidding. There's just more and more, and the list goes on how students can share it with you, or they can just send you a link. That is so easy in Canvas and Google Classroom or through email, just for the kids to share a link to turn it in. And when you click on it, you don't have to download it. It'll open in Canva and show you that image or that video. So you're not having to download 150 items from all the kids that you have to grade. So I really do appreciate that with Canva. All right, I know I went really, really fast, but I get really excited. Can you think of one way you can have kids, one thing they can use videos to show your content area? And then I am going to let Christy take over about all the amazing things, or actually I can do it since I'm here, about all the amazing things that Canva has for us. So the cool thing about Canva is they have a great community of videos and how-tos already made. A lot of things I didn't know how to do. I told you, this is not my graphic design is not my first love. I love doing it now because of Canva, but before I really shied away from it. But I learned on their Learn tab. So at the top, when you sign in, there's a Learn tab, and there are videos to tell you how to do everything. And if you go in there and search, they have tutorials seriously on every single product and examples. And it's just so easy to follow and easy to use. So I really do appreciate Canva for that. And then we've also linked some stuff here in our slide deck, which we will give you a bit.ly to at the end.
Yeah. So Misty, I do want to talk about those really quick. I love the Learn tab on Canva. I do think it's a bit full because it's made for people who are paying for the license, free users, as well as education users. So I curated these 3 links because they were specifically targeted for educators or students. So if you're really enjoying this product, or you love what you see today and you think, I'm a little intimidated, but I know this sounds like it's so easy for my students to use and me as well, try starting with one of these links. Either do the tutorials for yourself or have your students go through the tutorials. They also have a student design school, which looked really interesting when I clicked into the first part of that. But those are specifically good places to start. And like Misty said, we're going to give you the link to this presentation so that you have the resources. Misty, if you don't mind, will you back up a bit in the slides back to the browse page? Thank you. Sorry. Couple of things I didn't say. So on this slide, when you guys get the slide deck, this is just a link out to the education templates, the templates that are specifically tagged education. So if you want to look through those when you first begin your Canva journey, the link that's right there might be helpful. And the second slide, Misty, after that, or next slide, sorry, you don't have to click it. Yeah, I wanted you guys to know that I put a video in here. It's 6 minutes. I'm sorry, that's horrible for an educator to do, but it is like a step-by-step process of making a graphic in Canva. There's no talking. It's like back to silent film with color. And there's no star for sure. But if you want to watch somebody create step-by-step, that's there for you. And I just wanted you to know that that was in the slides, that video. And I do want to talk about something I saw in the chat, Misty, and you can back me up as well. I had a question about inappropriate pictures, and that is always a huge issue when you're working on graphic design products or graphic products with students in any area, way, shape, or form. Canva is COPPA and FERPA compliant. So that means it meets the federal standards to be used with students. Now, Canva says on its website, it's COPPA and FERPA compliant for age 13 and up. However, it also says it's COPPA and FERPA compliant for age 12 and under with adult supervision. So that would mean a teacher or a parent. I don't know. I forgot who made the comment, so I'm so sorry. I don't know if we can guarantee that there's not going to be a single inappropriate image in here or what you might interpret as inappropriate, but I have not seen anything personally when I have been creating. I haven't accidentally run across anything that's inappropriate. Misty, what do you think?
So while I wanted to kind of verify, because again, I've been using this for 5+ years with students. Ever since it came out, I have just fallen in love with Canva. I have never come into an instance where I have been like, oh, that's on there. And while Christy was talking, I did try to search some things that I thought kids would try to search and maybe get something. It was also PC. It was all very PC. That's just the best way to put it. There was nothing that I was like, oh, don't search breast cancer awareness. So it was all very appropriate and very, like Christy said, COPA and FERPA,
compliant.
Compliant. Thank you. Words are hard.
Yeah, no, words are hard. What time is it? 5:04. Words are hard. One other thing I want to point out that neither one of us mentioned is, or maybe I mentioned it. If I did, I skimmed over it. Canva has a collaborative feature. So just like you can put multiple users on a Google Doc and all be working simultaneously at the same time, seeing changes in real time, Canva can act that way. So you can add students, just like with Google, when you give permissions for a Google Doc, a Google Slides presentation, whatever Google product you're working in, you have very similar permissions in Canva. Like, I want to share this with this person with just viewing rights, or I want to share this with this person with only commenting rights, or I want to share this with this person with collaboration rights. And that means like Misty and I can be in the same graphic building at the same time, or we can be building on different pages. You noticed in the graphic example that I gave you, I had the option for have 3 pages in that graphic. So somebody could be working on one page while another student's working on a different page, that kind of thing. So Misty's showing you those share rights right now. So that is a feature that makes it really unique for group projects, and really amazing for those type of projects. All right, Misty, those are all the things I could think of that I grabbed from the chat. If you guys have questions right now, we would love for you to stick them in the chat. Misty's going to go through a few just housekeeping things at the end, and we'll get you the links, but we'll look through the questions and we'll stay on and answer them if you have some you'd like us to answer today.
Awesome. So we always are here to help, and we have so many resources for you that you might not even know about, but if you do, tell everybody. So we have a website called the KIC website. It's just www.kellerisd.net/KIC. Then we also have a button on KCloud. It's usually the first one because it starts with a hashtag unless you reordered. And then we are all over. We have a blog, which I did a blog post this week. And if you love throwbacks, 80s puns, you might love it. Or if you're a Canvas user, go check it out. We have social media, which we post a lot of cool tips and tricks. Like my mom even like retweeted some or shared something about splitting the screen. She was so excited. So it's not just for educators. Share with your friends. And then there's also a part on our KellerISD website for remote parent support. So these are all great resources, and anything that we support in Keller, we try to create stuff for you on there. This is our last one for this year, but we will definitely pick up in the fall. We usually try to do one of these a month, so that's an easy way for you to get an hour EQ credit periodically through the year. And we usually try to do it on stuff that y'all need. So we listen to the masses and see what y'all need. And so in order to get your EQ credit, please fill this out tonight. If you fill this out tomorrow, I'm going to try to give credit tonight or in the morning and be very confused, or I might not see it. So follow this link, bit.ly/KICS. So it's Kickstart 2122, but you need to capitalize everything that's capitalized and keep lowercase. It's very case sensitive. And then the bit.ly for this is at the bottom. So if you would like to see this presentation and watch Christy's amazing 6-minute video, because it's going to be amazing. She puts her all into everything. It's going to be at bit.ly Kickstart Canva. Make sure that you capitalize the kicks and then the C for Canva. We are so excited that you came today. And we would, like Christy said, if you have any questions, we would love to answer them for you. Because I love Canva. Like, I would marry Canva, but I can't. It's an inanimate object.
You sound like DWW.
Did you see that we were at the top of DWW today? I felt famous for like a second.
We were at the top of DWW today. All right, Misty, I don't see any questions in the chat. Hopefully you guys are grabbing the links from the chat. They're much easier to click on from the chat than trying to write down or take a picture with your phone. If you have questions, stick them in there. We'll stay on for a few more seconds just to make sure. We appreciate your participation in the chat for sure. Thank you for the comments and questions. It just helps us know that you were engaged while you listened to us today. And you guys are welcome. We're getting some thank yous in the chat, Misty. Not sure if you're watching it. You are very welcome. We love this product. We're happy to answer any questions about it. If you start to use it and get a little confused, reach out. We'd love to come see you and help you.
Absolutely. I could teach on Canva all day long. Could that be my job? Canva coordinator? I don't know. I can come up with some great job titles.
Oh, fun. All right, Misty, no questions in the chat, so I think we are good.
Sarah Smith, thank you. Sorry, shout out to people that are gone.
Somebody said it sounds like a great summer activity to try. Yes, and Julie, I'm glad you said that because we're going to be releasing new asynchronous courses starting June 1st. Most of you know, you all probably know that there's no KU this year. So we are beefing up our asynchronous courses. We're dropping several new ones starting June 1st. If you've taken our past Kickstart Your Learning Canvas courses, we're going to have all the new ones for the last 2 years ready to roll. And then it will be a Canva class dropping June 1st as well. That one's ready to go. So if you need EQ over the summer and you want to get credit for doing it, just enroll yourself in that Canva class and make something cute, turn it in, and you'll be done with at least, I'm not sure how much credit that one gets. Sorry.
But yeah, I always tried to get my EQ periodically throughout the summer because I always forgot during the school year. So that's a great idea, Christy. And I'm sorry, this would totally beef up your social media if you're on social media. So I think I'm biased to Canva. Do the Canva course. You can do it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next year at Kickstart Your Learning.